Hi guys, so today I am bringing you my July book haul. It was almost bigger than what it is, but a couple things made it so I couldn't buy more books. Still bought a lot. I was supposed to go actually book shopping on the 31st with my friend Christine at BMV, so I was just kicking shut the drawers that are at my feet. But I ended up having to work instead, and then I went to go buy a softback edition of Lord of the Rings in a nice little box set that's actually like $15, which is really, really inexpensive at Chapters. But the one I went to was sold out and I didn't have time to go to the other one, so whatever. It's fine. I still have tons of books. So, as you can see behind me, I bought a ton of Penguin English Library editions. I will go through those all together. But yeah, I got a lot of them. I got a lot of them really cheap though, so I'm kind of okay with it. So to start with, I got Alice in Wonderland. I got this on the day that Christine and I went to Type Books and B&V earlier in the month. I got this because I'm going to be going to see Alice Through the Looking Glass at the end of the month at the Stratford Festival in Ontario, which I go to every year with my mom for my birthday. Alice Through the Looking Glass was the very first play I saw at Stratford, so it's kind of nostalgic, and I wanted to reread it before I, saw it. Another one I picked up was The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, which I picked up because I went and saw Tiffios again, and I was like, oh, I've never read Tiffios. I have the definitive edition, so I don't know what the difference is. I haven't really picked this up, to be entirely honest. I picked this up on a whim, and then I was like, I don't know if I really want to read it because it seems like it might be super depressing. So if you've read this, try and badger me into reading this. The next one I picked up, I actually bought this on July 1st, which is Canada Day, and it is The Letter for the King by Tonke Drocht, who is a Dutch writer. I hear Books and Quills talking about Tonke Drocht a lot, which is why I'm actually somewhat confident in my pronunciation of that. I'm sure I'm butchering it slightly because I do not speak Dutch. But yeah, this is the new translation. It won some awards for the translation, but this was on sale on their like 25 hours of sale, which was awesome. So I picked this up. I haven't read it yet, but I am really looking forward to this one. Next up are a couple of ones that I saw on the booktubes and I had to buy. The Museum of Extraordinary Things by Alice Hoffman, which I have yet to read. I read the first couple pages and I wasn't in the mood for it, so I set it aside, but I am really looking forward to reading this. Yeah, as far as I know, it's about Coney Island and like kind of, excuse the way I'm going to phrase this, but like a freak show, if that makes sense. Like people who, bearded ladies, that kind of thing. Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children in that, like, they ran around as, like, carnies, they said, but I think this is, like, actual, that kind of thing. Next up, which I have talked about a lot, is The Bees by Lelaine Paul. You guys, I did a full review for this, which I will link in the description below. I have talked about this repeatedly. I love this. Go read it. Seriously, if you like dystopian, read it. It is so good. I also picked up The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, which I probably butchered the pronunciation of because I think it's Spanish. It's set in Barcelona in 1945. Apparently it's really good for book lovers. I found out after I bought it that it is actually going to be the Zed, I'm Canadian, it's Zed, of the Penguin drop caps. So yeah, but I am really excited to read this, and this is a fairly portable edition. Next up is one I've talked about before and which I'm still struggling to get through, which is Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. I really like this edition. I will do links for all the books in the description box below. I'm about halfway through, and I haven't picked it up in a while because I've been reading other things. I feel like I need to be in the right mood to read this, and I feel like I'm not in the right mood right now, so I might just restart this in like October when I'm more in the mood for like magical works, as opposed to right now where I'm in the mood for like classical romantical works. Next up is one that I probably shouldn't have been able to get, but I found it on Abe Books and I'm really excited about it, and it is The Unknown Unknown Bookshops and the Delight of Not Getting What You Want by Mark Forsyth. This was done for the Icon Books, oh, what is it? It's like the, it was some kind of like indie book week. Yeah, indie book week in the UK. You can pick this up at indie bookstores, but I don't live in the UK and I really wanted to read it, so I managed to snag a copy off of Abe Books. It was like 10 bucks, which is kind of expensive considering it's only, you know, 23 pages. But I really enjoyed this. As soon as I got it home, I started reading it. I read it in one sitting. It's great. I want to reread it and like highlight and like make notes on it. And yeah, I really like this and I'm glad I got it. Next up is one that had been sitting on my wish list for a while on Book Depository, and that is Angela Carter's Book of Fairy Tales. I don't know much about this. I've seen this around, but it was out of stock and I really wanted it and it came back in stock, and so I just clicked the buy it now button, and that's the end of that. The next one I picked up is A Truth Universally Acknowledged, 33 Reasons Why We Can't Stop Reading Jane Austen, which is edited by Susanna Carson. This is a collection of essays about Jane Austen. I haven't read this yet. I actually have two versions because my first one came damaged and it had like a crease and it like affected the pages as well. So I emailed Book Depository about it and they're like, oh, no problem, we'll send you a new one and don't worry about sending back the second one. Can I just amen for like Book Depository like customer service? It's pretty fantastic. But yeah, so I have two copies of this, but I'm really excited to read this. I am studying some Jane Austen in my English Romantics course, I'm pretty sure. I think we're reading Pride and Prejudice. I'm hoping we're reading more. I really want to read more Jane Austen for school. But yeah, so I'm excited to use this. The next one I got was kind of a whim purchase. I don't really know much about it. It is Evelyn Waugh's The Ordeal of Gilbert Pinfold. I got this because it was $10. Normally these retail for $39. It even says $39 on the back. I got this for $10 on Book Depository. It just was really cheap, and yeah, apparently it's supposed to be really funny. And I like Evelyn Waugh, and I'd finished Vile Bodies, and I was like, why not order another one? So yeah, this is number 19 in the series of 24. I was talking about that in my last video, I think. I was talking about it in my Friday reads about Vile Bodies and how it's a series of 24. Well, I have 3 and 19 now. So now we are getting on to my beautiful Penguin English Library books. These are not in the order I bought them in. I got The Return of the Native by Thomas Hardy. This I got at BMV and they were $6. So this is what I mean when I got them really cheap. I got Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter. Elizabeth Gaskell's Mary Barton, which is I think the only other one that I didn't have of Elizabeth Gaskell. Unfortunately my edition came, the like plastic was coming off, but once again Book Depository is being awesome and shipping me a new copy. I got Charlotte Bronte's Villette, which I really like this cover a lot. Yeah, it's really pretty. Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities, which the Penguin English Library. I have these all over my house now. A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, which I'm really excited to read. I've started this before at one point and I really enjoyed it, and then I got sidetracked and never finished it. Another Dickens, The Pipperwick Papers, which is another BMV, $5.99. George Eliot's Daniel Deronda, which I was really excited about because I had also, this was a BMV one, I had also ordered The Mill on the Floss and Silas Marner, which I read and talked about. So now I have, I think, most of the George Eliot ones. I don't think I'm missing too many of the Penguin English Library. Silas Marner, really good, highly recommend. Haven't read Daniel Deronda or The Mill on the Floss yet. I also picked up a couple of E.M. Forster books, Howard's End and A Room with a View. I have a friend who works at a bookstore, so I do tend to get books for relatively cheap, which is kind of why I was able to get so many. Yeah. And then I got Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. Love this cover. Like, absolutely adore this. I'm gonna do these out of order, but I've talked about this before. I ended up getting Barchester Towers and Dr. Thorne by Anthony Trollope, not realizing that they were parts 2 and 3 in a 6-part series. So I ended up ordering The Warden, which is the first one in the series. Yeah, so I'm really excited to read these. I'll probably read The Warden within the next month or so. I'm eager to read some Trollope. I also got The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, which I've already read this month. I really enjoyed. It's only like 99 pages, so it's a really quick read. I read this almost in one sitting, but got interrupted by work. And then because I enjoyed that so much, I went out and ordered The Island of Dr. Moreau. I have read The Madman's Daughter, which is like a YA retelling without realizing that it was a YA retelling, which I really enjoyed. So I'm really excited to read this. I really like H.G. Wells. So yeah, that is my July book haul. I'm not gonna apologize for the amount of books I buy anymore. I'm just gonna deal with it. You know, I'm not going into debt over it. I work hard for my money to spend on my books. Whatever. It's fine. It's what I choose to spend my money on. I'm giving up on book guilt. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you on Wednesday with a Top 5 Wednesday. Bye.